Okay, let's try this again. This tutorial is just basically on how to start up the PMDG 737 from cold and dark to engines running, incorporating the FMC, starting that up, loading a flight plan, performance, etc. Pretty much acting as if we have just carried out the flight from San Francisco to Los Angeles, but will not be leaving the ground. So first things first, we have no power. Everything is dead. So go to the overhead and we'll switch on the battery. That only gives us limited power and only for a short time. As you can see, only one FMC loads up. All the screens remain blank. So we go into the FMC and we'll set ground power and aircon. Close you and brakes are off, that's fine. So back up to the overhead and we activate the ground power unit, and that now gives us full power. Even though the screens are still blank, you'll notice that we now have two FMCs. The reason these stay blank is because we have the ADIRUs, or IRS unit, is switched off. Up here is your ADIRU, or IRS. So click it twice, from off to nav. Go back down to the screens, and they will slowly come online. There we go. Now they're online, we need to enter in our position so that the IRS can get the correct data. So as you can see, it knows that we're at SFO, and the reason for that is being we created a video and never activated the microphone. So it still has our previous data. So when you load up the FMC and you put in your airport and your gate, ignore these figures, always go with the top one here because that's the closest to what your actual position is. So click on that and then click in the white boxes. And there you have it, you now have a fully aligned IRS system. Depending on your setup, you can have it set for real time, 10 minutes, 5 minutes or instant. This is set for instant. So now we'll just quickly type in the route whilst the ground crew are boarding the plane. So we know that we're going from San Francisco and we're going to Los Angeles. And our route we're taking is eBay. Direct to AV, and we'll activate that. Then we'll go into the performance initiation page. To go to FS actions and payload, and this is where you put in how many passengers in first coach. Easiest way of doing it is if you're using PFPX or SimBrief, is get the zero fuel weight. So this is 121.8. So I'm just going to keep it at that. It's good enough for me because I'm not actually flying. So then you either type in 121.8 and then activate it, or just click the zero fuel button twice and it comes up for you. Fuel 46.1, which is far too much, it's only a short flight. So I'm going to change that to £12,000 As you can see, it's LBS, so it's in pounds. Just watch on your FMC, because if it says kgs, it's in kilograms. So you don't want to make the mistake putting in what you think is 12,000 kilograms of fuel and it's actually pounds. You end up falling out the sky. So there we go. So it's 26.1% tank level of fuel. So we'll take that in the fuel, 12.0. Don't worry, the fact it shows 12.2. The reason it does that is there is 0.2 pounds of fuel still in the tanks, even though it doesn't register down here. So reserves, I'm just putting 1 because I work in kilograms, even though this is set up for pounds. I've done that for users. The majority of the ones that have asked me about starting this up are American. We'll do a cost index of 20, and as you can see, it's going to give us a trip cruise level of 345. Always watch that figure, especially after what I do on the next couple of pages, because that will change. So we look on a cruise wind on a flight plan. Now, I'm not using this software at the moment, I just know the route, so I'm just going to type in a fake wind of 350 at 12. If I put in the cruise level. So cruise wind 350 at 12, and as you can see the trip cruise changed to 330. That's based on that wind and the performance of the aircraft. So always watch that. If your flight plan shows you're cruising at 390 and you put 390 in there, put in your winds, etc. If that's less than 390, you're going to be higher than your optimum, and there is a good chance that you won't make it to 390 initially, so you may have to do step climbs. So then we go into M1. Now you can derate your takeoff and derate your climb. That's company specific. Personally, I just keep it on the standard takeoff, which gives you maximum thrust for takeoff and climb. Different conditions and environmental procedures like noise abatement may require you to use a derate or a climb 1 or climb 2 departure. So then we're going to take off. It's going to be a standard 5 flaps. Get our centre of gravity from up here on the fuel page next to zero fuel weight, and it's 23.4. Type that in, it gives us a trim of 4.67. Now you don't need to, on the PMDG, manually trim the aircraft for departure, because it takes that figure and does it automatically once you activate all the hydraulics, etc. Always double check anyway, in case it doesn't. Now, as you can see, it's not gave us any V1, V or V2 speeds. Reason being is it doesn't know what runway or departure SID that we're going to take. And I'm not going to bother with that at this moment in time, because just now I want to know what the runway wind is. I know that it's gusting winds. It's 180 at 32 knots, and it's gusting to 43. You always put the standard wind, don't put in the gusts. I know that it's raining, so the runway is going to be wet, so you just click on that until that goes green. There's no slope. There's no heading showing because it's not got a runway activated yet. So I'm happy with the information that's there. It is 18 degrees outside. So I'll just go previous page, and then I'll go departure. I'm going to take 19 left. I'm going to take the SAHE 3 eBay transition, execute that, go back to root, take off, and there you have the V-speeds. And the V-speeds, once I've executed, will come on the ND. And the heading is 194. So we know that that's the route that we're going to be taking. You can see it on the ND. Up to 520 feet AGL, we start a left turn towards SAHE. So close the FMCs for now. Actually open that one and we'll close our doors. Cargo's not open, good. So then we go to the overhead panel. Standard procedure is that you normally work from left to right, down, then up. The last thing that you'll do is activate your fuel. The reason being is that it's pressurising the cabin. So hiding behind here is your yaw damper, and I'll show you that. I'll move the camera once I've done everything else. So I'm going to activate and start the APU. Turn on the window heats. And then come down here, turn on the electrics, turn on the emergency slide, turn on the seat belts. Keep trim pack 1 off, because you need that off for starting. Turn pack 2 on. Down here, I'll need to move this camera angle. Let's see. It's a bit better. There we go. Okay, there's a yaw damper that you couldn't see because of the heads-up display unit. So we'll just activate that. Might do that last, but hey ho. So we know that we're going to be cruising at 33,000 feet. So in here you change your altitude to 34. Always go 1,000 above. Land altitude is your elevation. So at the ground, for talking's sake, the elevation at San Francisco, I do not have a chart, so I'll say for talking's sake it's 26 feet. So I'll leave that at 0. It's the same when you're landing. If you know that you're going to be landing at an airport with whatever elevation, you move that dial to whatever the elevation is. That assists with the pressurisation of the cabin. So APU is now alive because it's lit up there. So we'll activate that. And we'll cut the ground power unit because we don't need that. Turn the logo light on, wing lights, well lights, and we'll turn the beacon on. Got a clearance to pressurise from the cabin crew, so we'll turn the fuel tanks on. As you can see, I'm not turning the centre tanks on because we don't need them. There's no fuel in those tanks. So now that we are set up, ready to start the engines, there, cancel that, and we will set up here. Get you out the road. Okay, so first of all, you're going to activate the parking brake. I'm going to disconnect wheel chocks, ground power unit, and you're going to call for pushback. Most of you will be using GSX, as do I, but for this video I'm not using it. So we'll be turning those right, I don't care what way we're going. And start that up.
We're all set to go up here. We can clear push and start at your discretion. Push, power here, clear, doors closed. We are ready for pushback. Start right, please.
Okay, brakes are released.
Okay, parking brake is on, clear to push.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, on the ND, you can see it says low oil pressure, don't worry about them. We'll go to the overhead and we'll turn on engine 2. And what will happen is when the N2 starts to rise and gets to around about 20 or 25.0, we'll then kick in the fuel. So, keep your eye on that. Go to the overhead, start engine 2, so it's one click to the left. Shows on the ND start valve open for engine 2. N1 is slowly starting to rise, temperature's going up. So as you can see, we're now at 23. Activate the fuel and just watch here for the fuel flow starting, which it has done. The low oil pressure light has went out, and all you're waiting for is the start light to extinguish. Now I've just heard it click, so there we go, and that's it went off. So what you do is you just turn that one click to the right, and that puts it into continuous ignition. And then we'll start engine number 1. So that's one click to the left. Start valve open. N2 is rising. Watch for it going to between 20 and 25. Okay, I've activated the fuel. Fuel flow rising. Nothing's flashed red, so we're not on fire. Watch again for the start valve light extinguishing.
Alright, brakes are set and pressure's normal.
Just heard the click, so that means we have got 2 good starts.
Alright,
Nothing's in the red, oil pressure's fine.
we will be watching for the pin and the release your guidance on the right side of the airplane.
So we'll turn that to continuous ignition. Activate the generators. And we can turn off the APU. And I'll activate pack number 1. Get some air flowing in the cabin. And that, my friends, is how you start up the PMDG. Now, for some reason I have missed something because I'm not getting the V speeds on here. Probably have to activate the speeds again, so I'll just double check that. There we go, that's it done. So V speeds are in. So we know that the V2 is 144 knots, so we'll change that to 154 in the autopilot display. V2 plus 10. Flight directors are on. Initially 10,000 feet till 10 above. Heading will be 196 because we're departing runway 19. At this point in call you don't need to worry about your course. I tend to only use them when we're landing. traffic. I'll turn on the weather, even though technically you shouldn't be doing that until you're closer to the runway. Change my squawk, 2200. Put in weather and turbulence. Turn on taxi light. Turn on RTO. Set flaps 5. Let's get an outside shot of these lovely dirty wings. There we go. Excuse the poor textures on this aircraft. And the blurries are down to my system settings. So as you can see, dirty wings, flaps 5, and the lovely TSL livery of the 737-800. So as you can see, you should be going over that direction, I believe, for runway 19 left. And I've just killed my engines because I've moved my throttle quadrant with the fuel cut off. So we'll just call that the end of the flight. A nice successful landing at Los Angeles. Engines are still running, good stuff. So I'll taxi it. So that is basically how you go from cold and dark to setting up the cockpit, starting the engines and taxiing out. Sorry it's not a very good video, I'm not by any means a video maker. I thought I'd just do a quick video, seeing as how OBS allows you to make videos to show you a brief idea. It's the same principle for all jet aircraft. Some are easier than the others. The only difference really between the 737 and the 777 with PMDG and real world is on the 737 when you're starting the engines initially from the overhead, is you've got to wait for the fuel flow N2 to rise to between 20 and 25% N1 or N2 sorry, before activating the fuel. Whereas with the 777 and the Airbus you don't. As soon as you turn the ignition on, go down and activate the fuel, the aircraft will automatically start the fuel flow when it knows it's ready for it. Everything else is pretty much basic. Hope that helps some of yous out. And say if you ever see me streaming or in Discord and need any help, just give me a holler. I charge by the day, not by the hour, so it's not too bad. Happy flying.